just wanted to talk about what's happening. Well, I just put that video up about basically how to see through false information field and or gaslighting, perhaps. And so that subject matter became um, the word gaslighting became the word of the year last year. By the way, we're creeping up on our real life organic new year, which is in the middle of March here. That's when we have our new year, when it's the Aries equinox. So happy New Year to everybody. But let's get back to talking about, well, we're still in this very Piscean season. And then, well, Mars squaring Neptune for one last time here. I think it's happening either now or in a couple days. And then after that, we have Sun conjuncting Neptune. It's just a double Mars, but a double Piscean vibe, Neptunian very much so. But we have Mars squaring Neptune coming up, and lots of deception in the air. Like I said, I mean, the subject of gaslighting came up with just Mars and Gemini alone, because Mars being in air and in Gemini, we can talk a lot about that, but it kind of points at just fanning out of the mental scape, I guess, through aggressive action. I just hope that everybody by now, with this upcoming Mars square Neptune, you have learned to radically self-care. The Mars and Gemini alone is very nervous energy, and you might find that it's been since when Mars went into Gemini. That was last August, or maybe even July, late July, that it finally entered into Gemini, and it just stayed there, or even before then. But gotta get my information right. That's part of it. It's like, can you get your information right? I've been having Neptune squaring my Venus, and then Mars is going to square my Venus, and it's an awkward moment, just to say the least. I mean, when you're an astrologer, and you see, it's only good for personal use. It shouldn't ever be an amusement park ride where people go, I'm going to go try this out. No, you should have that tool in your pocket. You should know where all your planets are and your progressions and what's happening in the sky, and the possibility of others, what's going on within them. I mean, eventually find out. I mean, they should know too, and really we should be introducing ourselves as these things, and what it really is okay, we have transcended these things. When you look into it, it just disappears, kind of thing. It's like, not a big deal. It's kind of like saying I confirm and then burn it, because it's here, it's happening, and it's as far as good things, come on, we want good things, you know what I mean? That's one of the reasons why is to look at it. You'll say, well, this is a chance to really grab onto all the good things. That's what trillionaires know. Millionaires don't do astrology. Trillionaires do. Boy, getting back to what I'm trying to talk about. Yes, I was doing astrology. Neptune squaring, Mars squaring Neptune for the last time. Hopefully you have been just doing radical self-care with breathing in your body, because otherwise you are dealing with some kind of nervous system problem. Narcissism is the huge thing with the Mars in Gemini square Neptune. That's why the word gaslighting, where does the word gaslighting come from? Well, call them narcissists, but I don't really like it anymore. It's just like, well, these are these people that lie their ass off. They like to fuck with people, saying that something is not something when it is, or something going on with them is like most of the time. It's, I mean, 100%, it's none of your business. These people, once you see they have a glitch going on, back away and don't feed into it. Do not feed into it. Boy, I knew a gaslighting narcissist who every single conversation we had, she would gaslight it. I just was prepared for it. I'd be like, basically, it's like, out in the jungle for me, I mean, and anybody else, I mean, if it was a setting where the laws didn't protect these people, I would have just, because it feels rude, I would have just, like, pounded her head against the wall or something. But that's the problem. That's what happened to them. That's what happened to them. They have a neurological problem where they are stuck. They make a life of confusion. They make that work for them. They make it work 100%. It's fucking fascinating. They make literally not being able to connect anything as something that benefits them. They have a whole like team of people helping them with their deficit, I guess you would say. And that's really illusory to say that because we all need help, right? And it's all and we all should step in and help people that are less fortunate. But these people, they are fucking outright using you, and now they're fucking what is called mind boning you. It's like, oh, hi, friend. Here, can I tell you that the sky is red and 2 plus 2 is 5? And what else? Never, you're not going to transact anything except for, you have to decide, if you have one on your property, like a property like I did, boy, they don't like love. Narcissists, all of them. If you operate at the highest octave of love, they will sabotage themselves the fuck out of there. They will run away, but not before trying to. With all of their unconscious or conscious skills, some people are just straight demonic, and that's the courthouses are built just for them. Go there and you have to figure out who was right or wrong in this incident, man. They got to somebody and they got them to react, right? And get really irate. Probably, like I said, started grinding their head in the dirt and then they called the police or something because it was now as assault or something. But no, I mean, you don't go that. For me, it's fucking scary when you come across an outright gaslighting narcissist. It should make your blood run cold straight to your feet. Your hands start tingling, itching. Like you start sweating kind of cold a little bit. Your stomach is wheezy, and you're like, danger, 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 danger. And then treat it like with tongs and say, yeah, there it is again. And you just ignore it. You just fucking ignore it, no matter how personal it gets. You say, yeah, this fencing here I'm going to put up. And they'll say, yeah, and it's made out of wood. But they'll say, yeah, made out of the bricks with mortar. Forget it. Don't even say, no, actually, it's made from cedar and blah, blah, blah. You can. Good for you. Yeah, do that. Really, that's a better advice. But really, eventually, they take your fucking energy away. That's why you don't want to get too. See, what they want to do, really, you have to assess. Is it good to tell them, no, actually, 2 plus 2 is 4? Yes, it is. But don't start arguing with them and because you didn't eat that morning or something like that, they are really depending on you. As I said, they live on confusion somehow. It just fucking works perfectly good for them, and it's like, whew, get away from that, man. Life is hard enough. Coming from being a surfer or something, you say, you don't need that shit. Just get up there and enjoy life. You people, what the fuck? And yeah, they have a bunch of very people-oriented, actually, and most of the people around these kinds of people, pardon me while I just go on about people, it's not good to talk about people, by the way, but, but this is the warning with the Neptune, and now, like, intuitively, when we look at it, with all of the Pisces in the air, and we're going to get through this, we're going to get through it, but the worry is this Neptune square Mars. I know what happened with me personally in my life. It was like, oh God, you know, um, you know these things as an astrologer, but other people don't have that edge, and you can't control them going under and just falling blind and living, choosing self-deception and living as a gaslighter, right? They'll drag you right on in on it, and that's what kind of happened with me. And then, well, did you get out of it? You know, for me, it's like working on it, working on seeing that. Is it just a season that everybody's going through? And I say, yeah. I say, yeah. I say that people go through foggy times in their life, and they might need somebody there going, actually, no, really, no, excuse me, but you said, and blah, 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 right? You said five, but really the answer is four. And what about love? Oh, really? And so, with Saturn going into Pisces, it's going to bring structure to the Neptunian Pisces age that we've just gone through with the Neptune and Pisces, with Mars squaring there. Now, we have Aries equinox coming up, and the sun is going to be ruled by Mars now. And with all of that, I see big time healing. I see mankind on a collective level, which includes me and everybody, you know, if you can relate to this, it really ratcheted up. I mean, we have to talk about, they call it narcissism, but I'm calling it the mind, the ghost maker. There's all kinds of ways to say this but there's also, there's, psychologists are helping with this. They're helping with this. And what do they say? They say it's a pseudoscience, but what they are doing is they're looking into the mind. They are studying the mind. Like, well, it's a memory bank, right? Getting back to that. And then from there, people are moving furniture around. I guess your memories are like furniture, and some of it's just packed. There's really narrow halls, and it's like, don't go down that way, don't touch it, and it's like, can you find something to do to get away from that, all of that junk? I mean, there could be something that can help you. And I'm here to say, aside from what Sam Vaknin and all these other dudes that are talking about it, and even women that are talking about it, I don't exclude men and women from being short, knowing about the fact of their own pure awareness, meditation, and reality being now. It's a very people oriented thing when you start talking about mind and the problems coming out of that. It's just a completely, they call it a pseudoscience. Psychology is a pseudoscience because there isn't a lick of truth that you can find about the mind. We see behaviors, and that's it. We don't see your furniture in there. We don't see your maze. We don't see that really. We can talk to you, and what happened, and then the sad thing that I'm coming across is the people that are grabbing on to that, and they say, this is me, look, this is me, I was shish kebabbed, and they put a flame under, and then they turned me slowly and poked me to see if I was ready, and then took little tastes, and there's still, it's like, well, when did that happen? Might as well just happen like 2 days ago, and it's like, no, it happened when they were young, and we are 50 now, and 60, and what did they just do there? What did they just do now? To me, it's like, hi, how are you doing? They said, guess what? Take this fucking shit pot and then take another one and steam it. I want you to. Miserable fucking. Now I'm going to go paint myself some other color because I don't like me at all. And it's like, fucking fine. Have you seen that lately too? Coming up, and so I try to, I'll try, okay, so it's like, okay, so we had this season coming up. It really was intense. COVID-19 took all of that, brought all that up. Everybody's looking at their subconscious programming, how fucking weird it all is, and get through it. And did you notice it? Some people may have had an edge more than others about, well, nobody is going to save me. I have to figure out my paranoia and whatever is going on. That's just me. And it's really not just you. Just look at it. It's just a season you're going through. How about that? Oh boy, nice to know astrology and then just ignore it like I do. I could have won the lotto many times, but I just and things are going on for me right now. I mean, astrology. See, this is what I learned. I said by the time I was 2 years into the study, which I started when I was 14. So here I am, 16, and I was a very interesting 16-year-old. Getting back to me, my original me. I came up with this saying, I would say, astrology doesn't matter to people who are fully conscious. It's just they got rid of the possibility of all that, and it's just now, and you're aware. You can glance at it and then you get the just your own intuition is there now. You're fully conscious. You don't need see. Okay, so my saying was, if you're fully conscious, you don't need astrology. And when you're totally unconscious, you don't need astrology. You can just close the book or the account to your account to reality, and the books that hold all the truth, if there's such a thing, that's just a metaphor. Just reality holds the truth, and it's up to us to go like this every once in a while and go, wow, I just saw that with my own eyeballs. And I heard that, and don't let your senses fail you as much as they are actually deceiving you, really, as far as there's a lower and higher to this, babes. And I like to stay up in the higher. I like to stay up in the conscious thinking mind, which isn't the thinking mind or the unconscious thinking mind, I guess. Some material we can pull up on that, and I talk about that a lot, but it's really important. In order to conquer that and the realm that can come out of it. I mean, the mess, the enmeshment, it's called colonization into your own mind. There, when they take a hold of it and have you lamenting about the argument, and you just hopefully you don't need them there, and you know how to get away from it. Just get away. Uh, Especially with these Pisces planets. Very seclusive, very reclusive. Pisces is the 12th house, and this is a time where you are nothing but fortunate. If you find yourself isolated, take a deep breath and count your lucky stars. Say, God, I'm so fortunate to be with my own inner and outer fluctuating resonance system. From the cosmos is asking us to look into a lot of things and turn off the TV. And because you want that higher minded resonation, the possibility, there is the low life that's going to be falling, like I said, into the self-deception and the gaslighting. And you're the reason. You would be a good reason there to they'll just dispense of you and try to dehumanize that you're even there over their mind, which that's just a basic thing it does, is it wants to be more real than reality, or else, this ego that's there is going to be highly offended, and it's there's a lot of names for it. Collapsing, it collapses under knowing that it's not real, and then, or it gets mortified because it begins to see how wrong it was, and I'm not free from all of that stuff. But you know what? It's none of the. It's not my I don't further put my ass on a shish kebab, exposing my conscience to the narcissist. Mistakes that I've made, things that are happening now. It's really hard, but this is the day, the age where, if you notice, okay, I'm trying to be sensitive to these people that, okay, now I need to know, and I think this is what is happening, is that over the last 3 years, the subconscious programming of a lot of people who have been way highly more abused than me, sexually and all kinds of different things that you can imagine, that only people can do to each other. Love will never do that. I'm here to tell you, love is love, and people are people. People aren't cut out for love and just to be more real and have power and all this shit. They're doing that. It's not love. It's really not. And it's two different worlds there. I mean, it's the mind. It's fear. It's fear. And it's also poor programming. It's get into spiritual possession because where does it come through? Mind is taken. It thinks it needs to do this for what? It needs to get power and control, and I have no idea because I was never exposed to such that level of abuse that I've heard, and I'm thinking, gosh, dog. So this is why you can't do anything but gaslight the scene from across the board and be as completely immature and unreliable as you really are, to the point of hiring people. They hit a clock and then they hire people to do their job because they can't organize. Their brains are just mush. It's sad. It's sad, really. I end up having, of course you will end up having compassion for a lot of them who, the narcissism and the narcissism, babes, the disorder is coming from a level of emotional or physical abuse. It comes from heavy duty abuse. You don't know that, congratulations, I just told you. Um, so, how can you, like Jesus would say, he says, oh, forgive these people. They don't know what they're doing. And how can you ever punish a child who hasn't got their own faculties on yet to even hold them responsible for, well, you didn't see that, you didn't hear it, you didn't blah, blah, blah. It's really tough. It's really hard, and we have to be really careful. That's why we have to take care of each other, because there is an agenda out there they just want you to they want you to be on that stress level, the stress level, and money here is to save our day, but do we use it that way? No, not really. No, there's people that would just as soon donate it to the church or something like that, or than to help the person next door or something, or but I am giving up on the money system. That is not ours. Whoever is listening to this, I mean, you don't have any, um, and it's because you don't have a mint machine in your I like to crack the joke. Nobody makes money unless they have that certain kind of ink, and it's that material that lasts through better than my clothes. I'm looking at a fucking $1 bill from 1960s. It has been through the laundry how many times, and it's perfectly there. I can't even get a pair of pants that lasts that long, and I wish, I would have those pants now, boy, and spend the money on that. But anyway, gosh, um, it's a really intense, emotionally, time with the Pisces in the air. And for me, like with Saturn going into Pisces, holy shit. Thank God that it kind of, it conjuncts my Jupiter eventually when it's done doing retrograde. But what it's going to do, well, it's going to oppose my Venus. That's not a fun aspect. That's not fun. That is not fun. I had Neptune there opposing my Venus. Now I'm going to have Saturn there. Saturn is going to be a lot better than Neptune. Because Saturn, I bet you I get a job. I bet you I have to get a job. I mean, I'm heading towards a weird place. It's like, okay, wait a minute. Why can't I do this? I mean, I have something I can sell. I need to put some things together to see if I can sell them up here through the Swap and Shop group. I've had some luck at that, but with the Neptune opposing my Venus, it's so weird. It's so weird. I can just about feel how that there really is a faction of people that will hit dislike. And I kind of know why it happened. It has nothing to do with me. It's just there's the season and people communicating, and then I would get picked on. It's like whatever. It doesn't have nothing to do with me. Um, but there is a faction of people who are that don't like me, right? Oh, I sound like a fucking naive dumb shit. Um, there's a faction of people who will make it known. It's like no, actually, and you know um has a great bunch of advice for me instead of compassion and say, oh, you need, well, I have it, here it is. I know how it is. There were some people like that, but I think eventually they think, and a lot of people think that I'm trying to be a miser and use them. And it's like, no, I'm actually experiencing some shit. If you look closely, I've always kind of held my own, and then now there is like a question. God, this is a fucking long video. Now getting to my personal stuff, but just the Neptune and Pisces oppose the Venus. Boy, can I tell you about that. Not all that bad. Not the opposition is not like the square. I know some people who are going through the square and they can't see. They just can't see. It's just a wall, and then they're going this way and they can't see that turn. You don't know any other way but to be self-deceptive and think that it's going to go into the black cloud. The black cloud, run from the black cloud, run from the black cloud. It's like, no, do you see the silver lining? Do you see the silver lining? Do you know that you came here on the silver lining? What the fuck is going on here? What is wrong with you people? If it's the square to their Venus, like it's opposing my Venus, it's a question of love. It's like, I thought you said love was real. No. Imagine the square to the Venus is kind of blindsiding if you have that in your chart. Those Venus square people, um, the Saturn square Venus or a Mars Pluto square Venus, Mars square Venus, really hard in love, just wrenching. The Mars square Venus is never satisfied. They can have it, they can get it all together, marriage, children, and everything, and then some little thing they get critical about and they throw it all away. These are the same people that can, yeah, they get ready to do this thing, go to the shrine in India to meet the guru, and they spend the $6,000 and they get on the plane and I'm going to see the guru and it's going to be a satisfying experience. And the guru is just looking at them with a towel on and smiles and doesn't say anything, and they are just utterly unsatisfied, even if the guru said something to them, everything they needed to hear. They're still just unsatisfied. Good for them. They created a fucking unsatisfactory a thing, but it was unconscious. They don't know that was your creation. You chose to just say this is not going to satisfy me. I don't know. I don't have the Mars square Venus. Thanks for listening to this banter, boy. There's a lot of snow melting all around me, and I'm hoping to melt down with that snow. I don't want to stay stagnated here. I feel like I'm really fortunate with just who I am. I mean, I need to get this burden of whatever it is that keeps me away from being who I am, which is, I claim team healthy. I kind of claim team healthy, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Just a little bit, maybe just a little bit. I have some medical, problem with my skin going on that is easy topically to take care of. But other than that, I've been working on my own nervous system problems coming from spiritual attack that's happening, and I am here to tell you that if you can change your diet to more raw as you can, stay away from meat, and dairy products too is very, very wise. I'm telling you, the raw foods, fast. I would actually say I wouldn't even suggest eating. I wouldn't say that the eating is the cure. Fast, not eating. Not eating. Um, go through all of the toxic wreck, deplete yourself a little bit, and then rebuild with pure, um, good things. Very little. I'm here to tell you, That is a cure to 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 um to fast. Gets rid of a lot, but then make sure that whenever you do eat, it is just pure. See, this is the problem with people who get really hungry. You know, meat will make you fucking double time hungry. Like right after you eat, you pay attention. You're just fucking stuffing yourself after that. Um, you have to get past that ungodly hunger feeling, and you will. Drink a lot of water. Drink a lot of water. Um, See, the problem with Americans and everybody really, this is where the discipline starts. This is the discipline. This is one of the most important disciplines ever. It goes beyond just eating. Are you farming your own food? Are you getting up and just looking at the dirt? It only takes like 2 or 3 hours a day, and then you have something there to eat later on that you're so thankful for. It's so good. Anyway, getting back to eating, that discipline of when you're ungodly hungry, don't reach for the easy packaged thing. Don't reach for the instant stuff. Nope. Wait. The reason why you're hungry and fasting is because now you're waiting for the right stuff. That's really what it is. That's what I do. I'm like, oh no, no, I can't do this. No way. You don't want to eat the instant oatmeal that has, oh my God, so many preservatives and shit in it. Stay away from sugar. Stay away from sugar and all the synthetic sugar. Um, Alternatives. Man, talk about getting worse. Honey, do honey. Don't do sugar at all. Do a fruit or something. You know, you have to figure out what's good for you, to tell you the truth, but there is stuff that is like a standard. Sugar isn't a food. Sugar isn't actually is a drug that they have controlled elephants with over time. And the circus, they give them little bitty sugar cubes to do amazing things. Okay, well, I am now going to turn this off, and the Aries. I'm an Aries rising with Libra, but I have a lot of the Aries energy. And so, you know, the Mars in Gemini, it's been hard on my nervous system. Squaring Neptune, boy, I have the self-care down like crazy. You can hear my rooster out there. Um, I love my rooster so much. I love all the animals and how that they are is just as awake as you are. They are just as awake as you. If you don't give them that place of vibrancy in the moment, like resonation, then you won't see it. You just won't. They will probably be sketchy of you. You are on a trip. But boy, the higher mind and what I'm looking at, you know, I don't eat animals anymore. Mainly because it's gross. Because it's literally ran through. Like they're sending chicken to China, and China is washing it up for the Americans and then sending it back, and it's like, what? Stop! Stop! So I stopped eating industrial grown meats a long time ago. Every once in a while, I'll have some fresh canned salmon. You know, making sure that it's fresh canned, like you're on the boat, I guess. Some things you can find, so that's what I do. But not that that's any good. Is any of this any good? Like I said, no, not eating is good. Not eating is good for you. And then eat very, very little. You don't have to do that much. You know, people are running around. That's the thing to do, is to be so busy. It's weaponry, actually. Just run until you drop dead. And fuck everybody around you. Screw everybody around you. Just keep going. It's like, why am I doing this? You should ask yourself, and you will. You will. The harder you run, you'll probably do it for a long time. You're really good at it, but then eventually you'll say, what was it all worth? I have worked for many a millionaire who has just pulled me aside and said, Shauna, I don't know what this was all worth. I hope that it did some kind of good for somebody. I mean, even for my children, I sent them through college. Why? Why? Really, I've kind of had these moments with some people, multimillionaires up here working for them for many years, and they're like, well, I don't feel like any of it went anywhere. Boy, But you sure did produce a lot of crap out there. What did you just do? Oh, fucking A. As long as it's not poison. Don't be, the money-making scene is really not good right now. You don't want to be a moneymaker just to make money because, yeah, you can go ahead and do that. And keep, I hate to say it, but the world trade, yeah. Let's send the chickens over to China, have them get washed up and laser beamed or whatever is going on over there, and then send it back to the barbecues of the USA. That's fucking weird. No. Bomb that path or whatever is going on there that allows that kind of trade to happen across and overseas. A lot is going to be reformed with Saturn and Pisces. Anything that has water in it. And it's like, well, that's pretty much everything. Everything. The letter H, babe, hydrogen, is that main element there in water, as well as oxygen. But we see that everywhere. It's in everything. Even I'm going to close this up now. Even a meteorite that's made out of iron and nickel, if you heat it up hot enough, what will come out is a vapor called H2O. So that's where water is in everything. And so Saturn and Pisces, going into Pisces, it means that there's going to be some kind of acknowledgement of the structure of water like that, or there's going to be called like a lawfulness towards, it's just say that it's going to be like restrained and disciplined and all this stuff that has to do with Saturn, whipped with a black and ball chain. I'm just kidding. No, really though. Oh my God.